One of the things in our journey through all 66 books of the Bible is that hopefully I was able to share with you and present to you that oftentimes within the Bible as a whole, we actually see very different perspectives on the same issue, which is why we need to be careful about saying, well, the Bible says X about something, because that's not always the case. For example, let's take the issue of marrying outside of your faith. The books of Ezra and Nehemiah both consider intermarriage wrong and condemn it. And yet, at the same time, you have books like the book of Ruth and Jonah and Isaiah that affirm that God cares about and God's concern extends beyond the people of Israel to people of every nation. And in fact, the book of Ruth is about a mixed marriage between a Moabite and an Israelite. But we need to go back to the start of the story, which is what I'm going to share with you today. This is a story that's set, we're told, in the time when the judges were ruling. There was a famine in the land of Bethlehem. We're introduced to a certain man in Judah who went to live in Moab. And the man was Elimelech. His wife's name was Naomi. And they had two sons, Mahlon and Chilion. And so they leave Bethlehem in Judah. They go to the land of Moab. And then, unfortunately, tragedy just hits this family. And Elimelech dies, leaving Naomi a widow. And then the two sons take Moabite wives, one whose name is Orpah, the other is Ruth. And then when they had been there about 10 years, both of Naomi's sons die as well. So this is just like a Greek tragedy, right? It's a time of famine. There's not enough food. You move just like we see people in the world today. They're on the move because there's not enough food to survive where they live. And it's a tragic situation that gets made worse when Naomi loses her husband and both her sons. And so the story, it starts in a time, there's no king, there's no food, then there's no husband, then there's no sons. And so the movement of the story is down, 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 down. It's really depressed. To the point of which Naomi says, I'm even going to change my name from Naomi to Mara, which means in Hebrew, it's like saying, I'm changing my name from pleasant to bitter. But the only good thing in all of this loss is her amazing daughter-in-law, Ruth. And our verses for the day are the verses of love and loyalty in Ruth chapter 1, verses 16 and 17, when Ruth tells her mother-in-law, who has told her, go stay with your people, I'm going back to Bethlehem. And Ruth says, do not press me to leave you or to turn back from following you. Where you go, I will go. Where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God. Where you die, I will die. There will I be buried. May the Lord do thus and so to me, and more as well, if even death parts me from you. Ruth chapter 1, verses 16 and 17 is one of the great statements of relational love and loyalty that we have in the whole Bible, of Ruth's refusal to abandon her mother-in-law after all her losses. And tomorrow we'll tune in to hear the rest of the story.